Welcome back to the channel, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. You know, we got a lot of new subscribers this week through Andy and all you guys that watch and stuff. So just want to welcome everybody and appreciate it. And I had it in mind, I wanted to grind some Hastings prolific corn. Now, it's been in the freezer for about 3 years, guys, probably 4 years. And we're gonna grind it. I know it's still good because I planted 4 seeds of it and 4 seeds of it come up, but we're gonna make some cornmeal for Thanksgiving. That's coming up, and be a lot of cooking. I know y'all got probably a lot of planning and cooking going on, but we're splitting wood, and I started to film a little bit today of busting wood. I had some oak. I know it was a white oak, but man, this thing had such a perfect center. It fell down beside somebody's driveway, and we went and picked it up. I sawed it, the trunk up, the log. Perfect log, wished I had a sawmill. But anyway, this oak, man, it is just so rock hard. It splits like rocks. I mean, you just hit it and it just flies open. And you know, it takes a little bit of power, but it's nothing like a red oak or normal white oak. I know it is a white oak, but I'm not sure. It's a little bit darker than your normal white oaks, and the bark is a little more thicker, kinda. It's a normal white oak ain't. It's just a little bit different. So anyway, man, I was splitting that. I said I had to film myself splitting this stuff because it's so big, makes you look like a Superman when you're really not. You know, it's kind of a camera trick. Yeah, it's so big, but it's splitting like 2 hits and you're knocking it open, but it's just because the grain is so straight. So anyway, so we're going to grind corn and get that ready for Thanksgiving. I want to show you that. And but I thought about it and I said, you know, I haven't showed, and for guys that's new to the channel, there's a lot of, since I've done this, there's been a lot of new subscribers. I just thought I'd show you some of my equipment behind me. And forgive me if I don't know the professional international name to each one, but we'll just walk down the line and I'll show you what I got. Make our way back over, check the garlic, and hopefully make our way back in the house and grind some cornmeal later on. And we'll show you what we're gonna grind it with. I think it's something a lot of you may already have, and you could utilize, you know, because guys, I don't grind enough corn to have a grist mill or nothing like that. But what I have is a nice option where I can just keep whole kernel corn in the freezer, and when I get ready to grind some, I can, so it's pretty nice to do that. But let me show you some of this stuff behind me. What we have here, I call it my 1-point scoop pan, and it picks up a good wheelbarrow full of dirt, and it's pretty nice little booger. Can't see a whole lot of it because of the leaves, but it's got, you know, a blade and everything in there. One of my favorite plows, maybe not the favoriteest, but I think it's a 194 16 plow. And when I say 16 inch, you know, 16 bottom plow. 140 pulls it great, just about all, you know, whatever you'd want to do with it. It does a wonderful job, and enjoy it a lot. You can catch us plowing with these plows on a video called Mini Plow Day. Here, this is a furrow plow, and what I've done to it, guys, AKA my potato plow. I use it for my potato plow, but the actual, what it was used for international was called furrow plow. It does a decent job. I think sometimes we get too excited about what it takes to dig potatoes. And you certainly don't have to have nothing this fancy. You can just have a middle buster and do just fine. And this little piece right here hooks up under the drawbar to tractor, and it helps with the stability from side to side on it, is what that's for. In the form of way the International meant it to be, now this is my son Elliot's, and we're going to use it this year to make up a few rows. But this is what this is. That's a furrow plow, but this is how it should be set up. This is a furrow plow to make rows with, and we'll use that this spring, and It's got some good furrows in it. I made the garlic rows up with it, but I need to make 4, 5, 6 rows up to see if it's going to hold the wheel width of the tractor, and we may use it to bed up everything before we plant it. That's what I'm thinking, and that's what I'm hoping I can do. 215 plow. Again, you can see us using this plow with the 140. It's also it's a 14-inch plow. It's a 4-bolt shares on it, the same as that 16-inch plow up there. That's 4-bolt shares. Where does that make a difference at? Some say you would call that a modern plow point, and you know, it's easier to find the plow points for it, but it has some wore off on the frog. It's not exactly a perfect plow, but I'll never let it get wore down that bad again, so you know, it should last me the rest of the time I need it. This, I always get a lot of comments on. This is actually a spring tooth tiller, aka my chisel plow. A lot of guys on the channel that's been here a long time, they know I refer to this as my chisel plow. It's not, but you know, it works well, and I enjoy what it does. And we usually run it through the soil. We got some gauge wheels on it to keep it from getting too deep on us, but we usually run it through before we disc in the spring, and works real good to loosen up everything. I love using it. Didn't use it much last year, and I'll show you why in a minute, but it's a wonderful, blessed to have it, and glad we do have it. This is I don't know if I've said this on the channel or not. Obviously everybody sees what it is. It's a bog hare. But I want to say, guys, and I don't know if I've said this on the channel, but this is the only thing I have left from my childhood. This bog hare right here, and I got a wonderful video of me using it on corn stalks or getting corn stubble out. I have some weights set up for it in that box right up there. There's a box of concrete. We use that. But I was thinking the other day, I don't have anything that I used when I was young except that bog hare. And I can remember using it in the middle of the 1980s, broken disc, broken arms, and I was able to get my uncle gave it to me years ago, and I was able to get her back to her factory glory, and she works wonderful. My leveling disc hare is what I call it. I want to say the number on it, guys, a F36. Somebody will comment and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's a leveling hare. It's pretty light bodied. When I say light body, it's not that heavy. It's a good disc. It's a good disc if everything's already loosened up, in my opinion. She's not a real great cutter, what I say, when I say cutting rows out or cutting land for the first time. It's okay if you run that chisel plow through it and then come back and run this. That'll work. But you're gonna just barely scratch the ground if you just run this by itself. The wonderful thing about this one is cleaners. You see those cleaners between the discs there? Yeah, we'll talk about that. But yeah, cleaners is one of the wonderful things about that, and it good disc, but you know, spool bearings and are harder to come by. A lot of people ask me, you know, what should I get? Should I get 3-point equipment for my 140, or should I get 1-point hitch equipment? 1-point hitch equipment's nice, it's hard to come by, but the problem is, you know, the problem, guys, is just finding bearings. And I mean, yeah, you may get this disc right here, and you may get this disc right here, but if the spool bearings is wore out and you can't replace them, it ain't a whole lot of good. So, you know, I have a 3-point conversion I think it's at Elliot's house. And I can hook up to a 3-point disc about this size with my 140 with my conversion kit. So even I, early on, made sure that I had a way to utilize 3-point stuff if I had to, at least in the disc realm, scrape blade, stuff like that. The mighty 122. So you heard me say that, mighty 122. What is 122? Well, 122 is a disc that International made, and they made this thing in 3-point style too. 1-point, 3-point. It was for some of their smaller tractors. And this is an early rendition of a 122 disc. It has spool bearings, albeit Stan, a wonderful friend of the channel, gave this disc to us for the channel to use on the channel and to video and stuff, and it has been a lifesaver for plow day. It's been a lifesaver on cutting some thick stuff. It's a heavy disc, and it can put a load on that 140. And that 140, it's about all she wants in second gear, which it is in cut mode now. The only drawback to this disc would be is I can't get in too high of a moisture soil because I don't have cleaners. But we're going to come up with something on that. We're going to make us some cleaners for it, because I don't need to clean but one set. I just need to clean right there. Clean that one, and that one. But man, yeah, a lot of people, you know, they want to find the 122 disc, and they are hard to come by. My buddy's got one that has smooth disc, cleaners, just about everything, and he's got a factory 3-point hitch and a factory 1-point hitch that goes on it. So I've used it before. I've used it in some real early videos that I had. Maybe when the channel was a couple of years old, you can go back and you can see me using it. It was a wonderful disc, pulled good, but thrilled we got this one. Also, I don't know what we're going to call this. It is International, I did find that out. I call it my field cultivator. Is it a field cultivator? No, I don't guess. They may have called them field cultivators, but anyway, it's a wonderful piece. It will smooth up some soil. It will put some seed in the ground. I've used it to plant some rye last year. It did real well. I welded some runners on the bottom of it that had wore out. They're replaceable runners, but obviously you can't find them no more, so I was able to weld some on it, put some new bolts in it, and look forward to using this. It's a wonderful piece. Pulls good. I can't say enough about it. It's something you may not use each and every day, but it's something you would use. Your main staples, if I only could have 3. If I only could have 3. Okay, let's say I could only have 2. Be that 2-bottom plow and that smaller disc hair right there. Because that's more than likely what you would find. I know a lot of people would say, well, what about that disc? Yeah, I guess if I could only have 2, the 122 and the plow would be fine. But you're probably not going to find that 122, but you can find a plow, and you can find a smaller light frame disc hair pretty easy. But those 2, I think you could do about everything you needed to do with it. You can do it with a bog hair too, guys, and maybe I'll make a video this spring and show you how to cut with it, where when you leave the field, it's as level as it would have been if you cut with that. Let's look at the 300 stuff. This is my 300 spring tooth, aka chisel plow, and this is the reason why I didn't use the 140 one a lot last year. It's about blended in with the weeds here, but I'm using John Deere shanks, 5 of them, and they're going deep in the ground, or fairly deep, and I used it and it works great with that 300, and I can really break that soil up and really get what I need to get done. You'll notice it's a fast hitch, dual fast hitch. It's an International toolbar, and it had some cultivators on it when I got it, but I took the cultivators off because the only reason why I wanted it was to make this chisel plow right here. And the other one, this is a 309 International 3 bottom 14. The model number on it's a 309, but I have yet to get the 300, and I got to come over and lift it up, get the boys to help me. We got to put some wood up under the plow points. It has new plow points, new cutters, and I even have a tire for it that goes right there, a gauge wheel, and it's off right now because I actually took it apart trying to see if I could get it to suck up in the ground. It's just not sucking up in the ground. It may be the adjustments on the tractor because there's very, very little adjustments on this plow. About the only thing you can do to this plow, right in here, you see how that little piece is a 1/4 inch above it. You can come back and forth 1/4, 1/2 inch, which puts a different, more aggressive angle on the plow versus a less aggressive. But there's no up and down tilt adjustment of the fork, so hopefully we'll get it figured out. It may just not be a plow that's good for pulling behind a 300. It may be a better plow behind a, 66 series or something like that, and not so much the 300. But okay, I'm about ready to grind some corn. Oh no, we got to go look at some garlic. Let's look at, the bush hog. The bush hog is just it's a sidewinder pull type bush hog. You can run it behind the 300 or the Farmall. Wonderful bush hog. Good buddy of mine, good late friend. Some of you guys know him, Scott Small Farming and Things. Texted me one time, said, man, I got a bush hog for them corn stalks you got. It needs back tires and you come get it. And we did, and so we cherish this piece and we use it, and when we do, we think about Brother Scott and enjoy it. Garlic's coming right along, guys. If you remember, we planted this with a hand planter, and it don't seem to have affected it none. They're all coming up. It dawned on me for the new subscribers, somebody may want to see the tractors we use, which is a Super Ray, a 140, and a 300. I do have a scrape blade. I'm not sure the brand of it. It's not international, but it works good. And we have a house bush hog that works real well. And of course, there's the 140, and we have a 0-turn lawnmower here, Cadet, that will stick on the hill like a billy goat, really. But this is my son Will's project. You can check it out on Restoring Red. It is a Super C. Yeah, I had to think about that, Super C. And of course we got the truck back in the shed finally. All the trailers are out. 300 is covered up in case it rains. Will Super C took its spot in the shed, and we'll get it back under there before long, but for right now it's here undercover. Gooseneck lawnmower trailer, and that's about all we got equipment wise. There may be some stuff I'm forgetting, but let's get in here. It's getting chilly, and let's go grind a little bit of corn. Okay, we're in the house. We just got done with dinner. That was very good. So what we're going to use is the KitchenAid grinder, and I really like these. We don't use it a whole lot. Lena uses it some, but not a whole lot. She's never really, she makes tortillas, but she's never got into making, breads or anything like that, and that's where you would use this a lot. But it does have a great attachment. You can get different attachments for it, and what I have is the grinding attachment where you can go fine and just adjust it back and forth like that. And we're going to grind some, and we're going to put this on in a second. The biggest thing you got to have to grind corn is sweet tea. Once you got that, you're pretty good. Nick made us this sifter right here. We'll be using this. We'll put our cornmeal and we'll get a cornmeal out of it. And then what's left in that we'll take and put over into the grit side, and then we'll get a few grits out of it too. So we'll be getting some cornmeal and grits. And I don't know, I may put a bowl of hot water on and we may try the grits. I don't know. We'll see. I think there's a small one over there we may put on and try it. But let's get the attachment on. So we got to take this screw out here. And we got to take this thing and put it all the way in like so. Tighten it up. I tried to put the camera in such a way where you guys could see what was going on real well. And what I'll do, guys, once we get to grinding, I'll bring us in closer and you'll be able to see it. I need something to scotch that up just a little bit right there. So let me find something to scotch that up, and I'll tell you what, Sammy, go get me some of those 14,263 billion Legos you got. Okay. Get me some flat ones and then we'll scotch this up the same. And so yeah, basically, you know, this is our Hastings Prolific. Now, you guys on the channel, you've heard us talk about Jimmy Red. I do have quite a bit of Hastings Prolific put up in the freezer. This, I'm guessing, is probably 2021 or so corn. It's been out of the freezer now for about 3 days, and I think it's gotten good in room temperature, and it's nice and dry, so I think we'll be okay there. Well, I was going to build it up to what I needed. That'll be okay. Yeah, that'll work. So we're going to try it. I do have some Jimmy Red that I put in the freezer for grinding, but I wanted to grind some of this Hastings. We're going to plant some of this Hastings next year. It's a white corn. It's basically the same story as the Jimmy Red. It is a great corn for grinding, for feeding your cows and all that good stuff, and so we're going to use it. I just put some in here. I usually fill that hopper full, maybe not overly full, but we'll probably try to grind most of this bag right here. And it's a long process, you know, we'll come in and out on it. And I thought about making some cornbread tonight with it, and I still may do that too. But I don't want to use too much of it up because I got to have it for cornbread for Thanksgiving. The instructions on this grinder says run the machine at 10. So run it wide open. I would imagine, just like anything else, got an escapee, just like anything else, the bigger grinder, or the bigger one you have, I'm thinking probably the better it's going to do. So we're ultra fine, and we got our plate down, we're ready to sift. Nothing to it, but let's glasses, put some glasses on, and let's see. She's grinding it pretty fine. I'm going to back off one click. I'll get you guys in a little closer here. Okay, I think we've got enough where we can sift a little bit. And pretty flour right there. We can sift a little bit and see where we're at as far as on our grind. So let's, if I ain't mistaken, Nick, let me sit down in case my head's out of the frame. This side, this bigger side here is for the grits and this is for the flour. So let's put some flour in here. I'm gonna pull it over this way a little bit, guys, so I can get a shake on it. Oh yeah, we're getting it. There we go. The less I got in there, the better it sifts out. Uh-oh. That's a fine ground too. I got to get this little back in there. Re-sift it. Okay, we'll put that in there temporary. Okay. Now, trying to keep making a mess. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Beautiful grind. Okay. Let's just to keep it from let's put it in here. And then over here. There we go. This is the grit side. So what we have here, what makes it through here will be grits. Beautiful. I'll see if I can bring you in a little closer. I'll leave that in there. All right, hold on, guys. Okay, it left. All right, it left that. Then the grits. And the flour. I'd say it did pretty good. Okay. We got quite the grinding left to go here. All right, we're gonna finish this video up here. We have, but I did something. Probably not making no cornbread tonight. I'm gonna wait and make it at one time. I was letting the grinder cool off a little bit. It's a little warm. I backed off on the settings till about, let's see, finest. 1, 2, 3 from the finest. No, 4 from the finest is where I'm at. I'm right here. And it's probably got a little more grits than it does flour right there. But seems like, I don't know, it seems like it may being hard to get through the grinder. But what we did, the grits we made just a second ago, just like movie magic. Look, this is just off the little bit that we did not 10 minutes ago. Look at those beautiful grits. This is, again, Hastings Prolific. And I put them in this plate so they'd cool quicker. We have put a little bit of butter, a little bit of salt on them, and just a shot of sugar. You would not know they've been in the freezer for 3 years. You would think that they were ground today. Wonderful, delicious. I probably could stand to set up a little bit longer and to get a little bit softer. But homemade grits, flour, soon to be cornmeal. We'll show you the cornbread in another video closer to Thanksgiving because I'm gonna smoke a turkey. So got it on the table. And we'll show some of the smoking the turkey. So I think that'll be good. But other than that, we'll call this a video. Hope y'all enjoyed showing you the equipment. And yes, I got a mess to clean up here tonight. But y'all have a good week and we'll see you on the next one. God bless you. God loves you. We'll see you.